Good evening. My name is Dave Zapparello. I'm Chief of Staff at the South Jersey Transportation Authority. It is now 7 p.m. on Thursday, April 2nd, 2020, and I will be serving as hearing officer. This hearing is being held to allow for public comment on the proposed toll adjustment in support of the authority's capital program. This hearing is being conducted pursuant to NJSA 27:25A-20A. The purpose of this hearing is to take public comment. This is not a question and answer session, but to take your comment for the record. This hearing is being live streamed and recorded, and we will have a link on our website where you can watch or listen to the hearing in its entirety. The website address is SJTA.com. Those wishing to be heard may call during the public portion of the hearing. That number is 888-747-5272 with a PIN number of 493192. The authority is also accepting written comments. Comments can be mailed or delivered to the authority at the administration building located on the Atlantic City Expressway, milepost 21.3. The mailing address is SJTA, Attention Executive Director, Farley Service Plaza, P.O. Box 351, Hamilton, New Jersey 08037. Comments may be emailed to the authority at publiccomment@sjta.com. All comments must be received by the authority no later than 5 p.m. on Monday, April 20th, 2020. This contact information is also posted on the authority's website. The authority will review all comments and provide a report to the SJTA Board of Commissioners after the close of the comment period. Authority representatives will also be available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday to take public comments. That number is 800-658-0606, extension 277. Again, the number is 800-658-0606, extension 277. I will now discuss the hearing protocol. First, all members of the public who wish to speak this evening should call 888-747-5272 with a PIN number of 493192. This will place you in the queue. An operator will be managing the conference call. The operator will ask you to provide your name, the proper spelling of your last name, the organization you represent, and your town of residence. All speakers will be allowed up to 5 minutes. Any remaining time cannot be assigned to another speaker. However, there is no limit on the length of written comments. Second, for those who speak, please be advised the operator will let you know when you have approximately 30 seconds left of your time. Third, the proceedings are being recorded by a certified court reporter. When you speak, we ask you to state your name clearly, spell your last name, and identify your town of residence so the court reporter can put it into the official record. Fourth, and very important, as we are live streaming these proceedings, when a member of the public calls in to provide a comment, you must mute the live stream audio on your computer, laptop, or phone. If you do not mute your device, there will be an echo. The operator will remind you of this once the floor is open for public comment. Lastly, any written comments received by the speakers or the general public will be entered into the official record until Monday, April 20th. Before we start the public comments, we will have 2 presentations concerning the capital plan and funding proposals. The first presenter will be Diane Gutierrez-Schichetti, Commissioner of the Department of Transportation and Chair of the South Jersey Transportation Authority. She will speak on the proposed tolls in support of the capital program. The second presenter will be SJTA Chief Engineer Stephen Mazer. Chair, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, David. As I thought about some of the comments received at the 2 public hearings yesterday and some of the commentary that I've read, I've decided to supplement my remarks. There is no one in this agency or that of the New Jersey Turnpike Authority that takes lightly the emergent nature of COVID-19. Moving forward with these hearings is not meant to be tone deaf, or is it meant to limit participation of the public. In fact, the live streaming and call-in capabilities have made participation even easier. And while there was no call-in at the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, at that hearing the public could appear in person. And they can still submit written comment up until tomorrow. Remarkably, we have recorded over 400 hits on the video that was posted for the New Jersey Turnpike. In my 30 years of being in transportation, that may be the most people who have ever participated in the public hearing process. We are going to church by video. We are having court by video. We are conducting meetings by video. And if there is anything that may become the new normal out of COVID-19, it will be virtual participation and limitation of large public gatherings. And while some may feel strongly that this process can be put on hold, I can promise you, as sure as I am sitting in this seat, that those same individuals will criticize these agencies for not getting important construction jobs on the street fast enough to put people back to work. And let me be clear, it won't only be union workers when it happens. The people who roll out the breakfast truck in the morning or the lunch truck in the afternoon, the servers in the diner where these folks may take their families after church on Sunday, the movie theater who employs ticket takers and snack bar attendants, and so many others will benefit once we can get people back to work. This crisis has many phases. My colleagues in the cabinet with the governor are working very hard to deal with all health-related and financial impacts of COVID-19. And when we flatten that curve, and we will, attention will turn to restarting our economy. Is it a coincidence that COVID-19 and these proposed infrastructure investments converged? Yes, it is. While we will be able to use these investments to help our struggling economy, yes, we will. I read a particular comment that we haven't had a capital plan in years. That may be true for SJTA, who has struggled over the last few years without the ability of a toll increase. But the New Jersey Turnpike has just wound down a $7 billion 10-year capital program that was extraordinarily successful and employed many. Without this process, neither agency will be able to provide a capital plan to provide valuable work to the economy and to the people of our state. I know this is not an easy time for any of us, but government must go on. And as for those who believe surface transportation projects are inconsistent with the state's energy master plan, please remember that even electric vehicles and electric trucks, we hope, will use the pavement that we have today well into the future. A safe, strong infrastructure is in everyone's best interest. And finally, let me be clear. Neither toll agency receives a penny of the state gas tax. The gas tax increase of 2016 was almost exclusively dedicated to county and municipal aid. And while the federal infrastructure package holds promise, it generally does not hold promise for toll roads. They are self-sustaining entities just like any business. And in order for them to continue to go, they raise revenue through tolls. I know these comments are much different than I made yesterday, but I have to say that in doing my very first virtual hearing in New Jersey, I have been glad to hear of the participation that we have received, good or bad. It is different, like many things we're experiencing today, but I would suggest to you it may be the one thing that never goes back, for a lot of reasons. It allows people who could not otherwise get here to participate live in this process. We had many calls last night from those who, at least on the phone, appeared to probably be a little bit older and may not have come out at night to participate in a hearing. But they participated yesterday, even if it was to complain about the way they were participating. None of this falls on deaf ears at these agencies. But I do promise you, when we are finished, we will deliver a program that encompasses the whole of the transportation system, whether it be surface or transit, and we will deliver to New Jersey what we need to continue to be economically competitive. History tells us public work projects, like the ones proposed here today, serve as an immediate economic stimulus, and a modern, safe, reliable, and balanced transportation system will allow South Jersey to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic in the short term and provide the foundation for sustained economic development into the future. Now I'll proceed with the substantive comments for this hearing. We are conducting this public hearing to present the South Jersey Transportation Authority's next capital program and our proposal to raise the revenue necessary to fund these vital projects. The capital program we're proposing will keep thousands of men and women at work, will support the growth of South Jersey's regional economy, create a reliable and sustainable source of funding, and will improve safety on one of South Jersey's most important highways, the Atlantic City Expressway. The South Jersey Transportation Authority's enabling legislation charges it with coordinating South Jersey's transportation system and investing in transportation projects that support the economic development of the region. The primary project is the Atlantic City Expressway, and it serves a vital role in connecting the two economic engines of South Jersey, the Philadelphia-Camden metro market to the west, and Atlantic City and shore destinations of the East Coast. The proposed capital program will allow the Transportation Authority to further its support through investment in other regional transportation projects, including the Glassboro-Camden Light Rail and the Atlantic City Rail Line. Investment in such critical projects requires the Transportation Authority to create a reliable, sustainable source of funding to pay for these improvements. The South Jersey Transportation Authority is not funded through the state of New Jersey's annual budget and receives no tax money from any other source. 76% of the Transportation Authority's revenue comes from tolls paid by the people who use the Atlantic City Expressway. The remainder is generated from parking operations, airport operations, service areas, billboards, fiber optic and cell tower rentals, and other relatively small miscellaneous sources. Despite not having a toll increase since 2008, the Transportation Authority has continued to maintain its current infrastructure. Through fiscally responsible management practices, it has done so while ensuring compliance with applicable bond covenants, including its debt service coverage ratio. A toll adjustment will provide a healthier debt service coverage ratio, which will improve the Transportation Authority's bond rating. In short, we cannot build the projects necessary to provide improved access and mobility without raising additional toll revenue. The Transportation Authority has no other way to pay for this work while meeting its other financial obligations. Under our proposal, the average toll on the Expressway Authority will increase 57 cents, it should be 36%, from $1.52 to $2.09. The toll schedules with the proposed new rates are available on the Transportation Authority website, www.sjta.com. Again, it is a 57-cent average increase. Then the tolls will be indexed starting in 2002. Indexing means that there will be modest annual increases to keep up with rising costs. This will create a reliable source of funding into the future. Indexing is a common practice among toll roads throughout the United States. It eliminates the need to propose large increases every 10 years or so. It provides reliable and sustainable source of funding, and it enables staff to plan and advance a capital program with certainty. The annual increases would be capped at 3%. There are no other changes to the toll schedule being proposed. Also, none of the other discounts currently offered to New Jersey Easy Pass customers using the Atlantic City Expressway are being changed. The terms of the discounts for commuters would not be affected by this proposal. With the proposed increase, the toll rates on the expressway will remain in line with the rates drivers pay on other toll roads. This chart shows the 47 U.S. toll roads ranked from lowest cost per mile to highest. As you can see, the expressway is ranked 23rd lowest out of the 47 toll roads. This is with the proposed increase included. It is worth noting that many of the toll roads ranked higher than the expressway are in states that provide a lower cost of living. Under this proposal, the toll adjustments are applied equally across all classes of vehicles. As you can see on this chart, the rate trucks pay on the expressway would remain in line with other toll roads around the country under this proposal. The Transportation Authority has a history of carefully planned, tightly managed capital programs. We invest in projects that improve mobility and safety and have a real impact on the lives of both the commuters who regularly travel on the expressway and the tourists who visit Atlantic City and our vibrant shore communities. The most visible project from our previous capital plan was the widening of the expressway from milepost 7.8 to 31.5 traveling westbound. The project provided additional capacity from the Garden State Parkway to Route 73 and was a welcome relief for travelers returning from the shore during peak travel times, as well as for daily commuters. As a critical coastal evacuation route, it is imperative that the Atlantic City Expressway remain in a state of good repair. Accordingly, the Transportation Authority used its last toll increase to strategically invest in projects that support its continued operation. Over $50 million has been invested in bridge improvements, rehabilitation and painting, pavement resurfacing, and improvements to interchange 17 and 41. While they are not always as obvious to the traveling public, projects of this kind are essential to keeping the expressway operational. Our last capital program was very successful. A lot of important work was done, work that created jobs, boosted the economy, increased the capacity along the road, and improved the quality of life for the drivers who depend on the expressway. But we cannot rest on our laurels. With this toll proposal, the Transportation Authority is introducing a list of capital projects it intends to undertake in the coming years. Many of these proposed projects build on the success of the Transportation Authority's previous capital program. Stephen Mazer, the Transportation Authority's chief engineer, will be talking in detail about some of the project specifics in just a few moments. In advance, I would like to touch on a few of the highlights. Specifically, we will be completing the widening of the expressway and improving its safety with upgraded lighting on our interchanges and the Atlantic City Expressway Connector Tunnel. We intend to deliver projects that will greatly improve the way people in South Jersey travel, both in the near term as well as into the future. The capital program will modernize how tolls are collected on the expressway, incorporate intelligent transportation systems to enhance the driver's experience and mitigate congestion, and invest in rail projects on both ends of the state, a first for the Transportation Authority. All projects in this proposal are necessary for continuing the high level of service the traveling public expects and are critical to ensuring that our transportation network is positioned to support economic growth in the region. By continuing to invest in transportation, we will sustain jobs, support the growing economy, and provide convenience and safety to the traveling public. Before I move along to Mr. Mazer to detail the specifics of the projects proposed in this plan, let me summarize the following. This program is about enhancing safety. It's about improving mobility. It's about bolstering our economy. It's about creating jobs. This is about maintaining New Jersey's position as an attractive location in a global economy. Thank you for your attention, and I will turn it over to Mr. Mazer.
Thank you, Chair Scacchetti. My name is Steve Mazer, and I am the Chief Engineer for the South Jersey Transportation Authority. Today I'll be summarizing the proposed capital improvement program that will be financed by the proposed toll adjustments. The South Jersey Transportation Authority operates in accordance with its core values of safety, innovation, professionalism, diversity, and excellence. Our goal is to provide the optimal traveling experience for our patrons on the Atlantic City Expressway, the Atlantic City International Airport, and an ever-growing number of transportation service shuttle routes. As the Chair indicated in her opening remarks, the SJTA is part of an overall statewide transportation network, a network that serves as one of the most essential components in terms of economic development, job creation, safety, and quality of life. The Authority maintains a 10-year capital improvement plan that is updated annually by a team of Authority staff who have to make tough decisions based on budget constraints. The team has to prioritize those projects that can be funded in the current budget year while maintaining a state of good repair of the Authority's transportation facilities. The proposed capital improvement program that is being presented here today resulted from that process, along with significant input from stakeholders in the southern New Jersey economic region. The proposed toll adjustments allow the Authority to supplement its current capital program while also providing a more stable funding mechanism for future projects. In the very short term, the Authority's focus will be on projects such as roadway resurfacing, fleet replacement, facility rehabilitation, and highway lighting improvements. If approved, the proposed toll adjustment will provide funding for the following capital program projects to begin immediately and be completed in 2021. $10 million for the resurfacing of up to 63 lane, ramp, and shoulder miles on the Atlantic City Expressway. Another $7.4 million for the resurfacing of the Authority's roadway assets in Atlantic City, including the Atlantic City Expressway connector and its 12 ramps, Route 30, Route 87, Route 187, as well as the Atlantic City corridor at the foot of the expressway. $2 million for new LED highway lighting at 6 expressway interchanges. This includes not only the relamping of some existing light standards, but also the elimination of miles of overhead wires connecting older ramp lighting systems, some of which are original to the expressway. The project will have a significant improvement to safety, resiliency, and sustainability. Another $1.3 million will be used for the relamping of more than 350 existing light standards on the Atlantic City Expressway connector, Route 30, Route 87, Route 187, and also including a new lighting system for the Atlantic City Expressway connector tunnel. All of this work includes LED lighting technology. A new maintenance garage at the Expressway's Pleasantville Maintenance Yard will be constructed at an estimated cost of $1.5 million, while another $5.2 million will be programmed for the replacement of both heavy-duty and light-duty expressway fleet vehicles that have reached the end of their useful life. This $27.4 million investment in quick implementation projects will help bring jobs to the consultant and construction communities now and into the future. These projects also help to support ancillary industries such as material suppliers and other small businesses. The Authority will immediately restart planning and design efforts for the all-electronic tolling on the Atlantic City Expressway to facilitate travel and mitigate congestion. This $40 million project involves the elimination of cash collections as well as the removal of both mainline barrier toll plazas and all ramp tolling facilities. A new overhead gantry system along the expressway will allow for both the collection of tolls via EasyPass as well as video by plate technology. The gantries will also provide much-needed upgrades to the Authority's intelligent transportation systems along the expressway, including dynamic message boards, real-time travel times, and traffic cameras for improved incident management response. Long-term projects include $150 million for the widening of the Atlantic City Expressway from milepost 31.6 to 44 to provide for 3 lanes of travel in each direction. Improvements at Interchange 7 with the Garden State Parkway are estimated to be $20 million. This project will greatly improve the travel experience on both toll roads for residents and visitors to the Jersey Shore. The Atlantic City Expressway, Atlantic City International Airport Direct Connector Project is also included in the proposed capital plan with an estimated cost of $60 million. Each of these 3 long-term projects has its own unique set of challenges, more specifically, ensuring compliance with environmental regulations. The Authority, as it always has, will work closely with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and the Pinelands Commission to ensure that all projects are designed and constructed in compliance with current environmental rules and regulations to protect the delicate ecosystems of South Jersey. The projects I've discussed today will greatly improve congestion management, safety, and mobility for commuters as well as commercial traffic in South Jersey. Whether it be to support the bustling tourist economy at the eastern end of the expressway, or the busy commute of our patrons on the western end of the expressway and beyond, the proposed plan is keenly focused on improving the quality of life of our patrons, making our infrastructure safer, creating new jobs, and encouraging economic development. In closing, more detailed information on the proposed capital improvement program is available for review on the authority's website at www.sjta.com.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Steve. I will now open the hearing for public comment. Again, the phone number is 888-747-5272 with a PIN number of 493192. Again, the phone number 888-747-5272 with a PIN number of 493192. I will now ask the operator to please connect us to our first caller.
Okay, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open for your comments. If you would like to make a comment at this time, please press *1 on your telephone. We ask, if listening to the live stream, please mute the stream before commenting. When your line is opened, please state and spell your last name, provide your affiliation, and town of residence. Once again, please press *1 on your phone at this time to queue to comment. And our first comment is coming from Caroline Rose. Caroline, please state and spell your last name, your affiliation, and your town of residence. Your line is now open.
Yes, my first name is Carolyn, C-A-R-O-L-Y-N. The last name is Rhodes, R-H-O-D-E-S, and I'm in Mantua, New Jersey. And I'm calling in because I'm outraged that you're trying to rush through this massive toll increase when people, not just in New Jersey, but all over the world, are sick, scared, and dying. I think it is insensitive. I think that it is so uncaring, and I'm really suspicious of the timing on this. Many people would go to meetings, even senior citizens like myself, who attended many of the DRPA meetings in Camden. So to imply that people would not attend the meeting is, I think, totally inaccurate. I'm concerned that you are planning to fund money for the Glassboro-Camden line. The two project managers for this project are the DRPA and New Jersey Transit. The DRPA has been in the news recently. A federal judge ruled that the DRPA system for their bidding process was both illegal and illogical, that it was shrouded in mystery and obscured from public scrutiny, sort of like what you're doing now, obscured from public scrutiny, and that the commissioners, all political appointees, when questioned, claimed attorney-client privilege. Is that what you're going to do when this comes up? All claim attorney-client privilege rather than answer questions why this is being rushed through? I am just astounded at what you're doing here, your arrogance and your unfeelingness. Besides the federal judge who ruled against the DRPA, you should know that the DRPA is the subject of a federal investigation for the $500 million in economic development funds that was squandered. There's no paperwork to justify a lot of those projects, and you're going to allow them access to all this money without any type of oversight or scrutiny. The other project manager on the GCL line is New Jersey Transit, which our own governor has said is the worst run transportation agency in the country. If you follow the news, you should know that the light rail operation is responsible for multiple deaths every year. And these people are going to be given another project to run? I don't think so. I really think that this has to be stopped. And somebody who is responsible and ethical and moral, if there's anybody in that room, will stand up and speak for the public. This has to be put on hold, and everyone should be able to speak, not just someone who has a computer or happened to see that this meeting was going on online. People are watching television to find out what they should be doing and who's dying and sick and trying to get tests. They're not following this money grab that you're trying to put through right now. I'm finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your next comment is coming from Zoe Baldwin. Zoe, please state and spell your last name, provide your affiliation, and your town of residence. Your line is now open.
Hello, my name is Zoe Baldwin, Zoebaldwin, and I'm from Neptune Township, New Jersey. And on behalf of the Utility and Transportation Contractors Association and our 1,000-plus member firms, we would like to express our strong support for the proposed toll increase. The revenue from these increases is going to allow the SJTA to complete a lot of really much-needed projects to ease congestion and help increase safety for drivers from the whole region. And moreover, investment in infrastructure has a 3-to-1 return on investment, and we need that kind of boost in the current economic situation. Our industry is lucky enough to be able to continue working right now, and these projects funded under this plan will put thousands of people to work in living wage jobs. We're also very much in support of the increases being indexed to inflation. We think this is a really common sense fiscal move that we use in the gas tax and should be applied here. And so thank you so much for the opportunity to testify. And on behalf of the Jersey's infrastructure builders, we urge you to move forward with this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your next comment is coming from William Ritzler. William, please state and spell your last name, provide your affiliation, and your residence. Your line is open.
Yes, Ritzler, R-I-T-Z-L-E-R, residence in Pitman, New Jersey. My affiliation is Delaware Valley Association of Rail Passengers. I'm presenting written testimony this evening. The testimony is available on the organization website, www.dvarp.org, by navigating to the menu item, SJTA Testimony, April 2020. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Thank you. The Delaware Valley Association of Rail Passengers, also known by the acronym DVARP, has reviewed the proposed Atlantic City Expressway toll increase in the list of capital project plan items to be funded. DVARP conditionally supports the proposed Atlantic City Expressway toll increase in order to provide funding for the capital project plan items associated with passenger rail service and to incentivize a modal shift to public transit with the goal of reducing vehicle miles traveled by further shifting the financial burden of negative impacts associated with single occupancy vehicle operation to motorists using the Atlantic City Expressway. DVARP takes issue with the ad hoc method of funding passenger rail capital projects due to the unsustainable example of the significant reliance upon toll funding being utilized to support comprehensive long-term transportation planning in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and our preference to see the New Jersey legislature make significant changes to relieve the depleted state of the New Jersey Transportation Trust Fund. DVARP supports the following capital project items as necessary to achieve a more well-balanced transportation system within southern New Jersey: the Glassboro-Camden Light Rail design support and upgrades to the Atlantic City Rail Line. DVARP proposes the following capital project items that potentially support an unnecessary increase in single occupancy vehicle utilization and vehicle miles traveled. Number 7, all electronic tolling and IPS upgrades. Number 8, third lane widening from milepost 31 to milepost 44. Number 9, expressway interchange number 7 improvements. 10, expressway Atlantic City International Airport direct connector. DVARP takes no position with respect to the following capital project items. Number 1, expressway resurfacing. Number 2, interchange lighting improvements. Number 3, Pleasantville maintenance yard garage replacement. Number 4, the Atlantic City Expressway connector, Route 30, Route 87, Route 187, and AC corridor resurfacing. Number 5, the ACE connector and tunnel LED lighting upgrades. Number 6, the expressway fleet replacement. DVARP also recommends the following improvements for future public hearings. Continued utilization of the online stream and phone conferencing technologies to allow greater public participation through greater public access. Providing more detailed information concerning the scope and cost of capital project plan items. Posting relevant hearing media and information online at the SJTA website well in advance of the actual public hearing event. And developing and maintaining an email list to provide information to and to maintain contacts with significant stakeholders interested in South Jersey Transportation Authority policy and activities. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Your next comment is coming from Mike Zidek.
Hi, my name is Mike Zidek, Z-I.
Mike, your line is live. Please check to see if it's been muted. Mike's line has disconnected. Your next comment is coming from Kyle England. Kyle, please state your name, spell your last name, your affiliation, and your town of residence. Your line is open.
Kyle, my name is Kyle England, England. I'm from Jackson, New Jersey, in affiliation with the New Jersey Concrete and Aggregate Association. I'm speaking tonight on behalf of our 200 members, employing over 20,000 workers statewide. We are in strong support of the proposed toll adjustments capital plan. It has been over 11 years since the last toll increase was implemented. This increase will fund some much-needed construction projects along the Atlantic City Expressway and create thousands of jobs in the process. While we're in some very challenging times in the midst of a pandemic, we need to keep our economic state in mind. The funds from this plan will help to stimulate the economy and will improve access to Atlantic City, including the city's airports, beaches, and attractions, which will ease tourist travel and promote spending in the state. Thank you for listening to our comments tonight. The capital plan will improve quality of life in the state during a time when it's most crucial. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your next comment is coming from Anthony Sipa. Anthony, please state your name, spell your last name. One moment to unmute Anthony's line. Anthony, Anthony, my apologies. Your line is now open. Please state your name, spell your last name. Thank you.
Anthony Stupa, S-U-P-P-A, Mulligan Hill, New Jersey. I'm the CFO of South State Inc. South State Inc. is a road and bridge contractor in South Jersey. We work hard to provide competitive pricing for projects like some of the ones mentioned tonight. We truly appreciate self-sustaining entities like the SJTA. They do not put a burden on taxpayers by generating their own revenue. We see them, the tolls, as basically a use tax. If you use the roadway, you pay it. If you don't use the roadway, you don't pay it. That's a beautiful way to fund infrastructure as far as we're concerned. Our roadways down here, especially the ones that fall under the SJTA, like the Atlantic City Expressway, are obviously heavily used by out-of-state drivers. You notice that with some of the shore traffic, I'm sure. So we feel it's only right that these out-of-state drivers, pay their share to help fund our infrastructure projects, since they're contributing to the wear and tear on these roads. New Jersey obviously is a major throughway, so the people who are using it should be sharing these infrastructure costs, and tolls are a great way to do that. For these uncertain economic times, we definitely feel that this will create a much-needed stimulus to our economy and a lot of much-needed jobs. Not only construction jobs, but many, many other affiliated and ancillary industries will also be stimulated as a result. As CFO, I see this every day by the diversity of our check runs. I see how many different industries, really are spin-offs of the money that flows into our industry. It's very, very important, I think, beyond what a lot of people realize. South Jersey is really a great place. It has great hospitals, great entertainment, great airport. So I think it's very important that we invest and start driving money and jobs and people to these facilities instead of, over the bridge and away from South Jersey. So with that said, I, as a resident and the firm that I work for, South State Inc., are strongly in support of the SJTA's toll increase, especially at this critical time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open for your comments. If you have a comment, please press star 1 on your telephone at this time. We ask, if listening to the stream, please mute the stream before commenting. When your line is open, please state and spell your last name, provide your affiliation and town of residence. Once again, please press star 1 on your phone at this time to queue to comment. And there are no parties queued to comment at this time.
Seeing that there's no one on the line, we will take a break until there's another caller for public comment. Thank you. We are back live for our next comment.
The comment is coming from Michael Vidic. Michael, please state your name, spell your last name, announce your affiliation, and your town of residence. Your line is now open.
My name is Michael Vidic. I live in Gloucester County in Seoul, New Jersey, and I'm an individual. Hello?
Go ahead.
Your line is now open for comment, Michael. Please go ahead.
Okay. I'm in favor of the toll increase for all the necessary projects to improve both auto transportation and rail transportation, especially the third lane expansion, which will take quite a few years to from planning to completion. The needed fleet equipment and garages are certainly necessary, and going to an all easy pass system certainly would modernize the AC Expressway. A few more space would be needed, I think, at the widen the road there where the people would go through the electronic pass. Repaving, of course, is necessary on a regular basis everywhere. And the AC connector lighting, the tunnel does, of course, need new lights. And the Exit 7 flyover from the Garden State Parkway to the AC Expressway would certainly make traffic flow a lot better on the Garden State Parkway as it approaches the expressway. The two things which I question would be the Atlantic City Expressway to Airport connector is only something I believe 1% of the people that go to Atlantic City come in by plane, and many of them are by casino charters, or they're flying Spirit Airlines having nothing to do with Atlantic City other than they want to go somewhere where Spirit Airlines flies, like Florida or the Carolinas or whatever. But the thing I think doesn't belong in the mix is the Glassboro to Camden rail line, because rail lines are written in stone, and the concept of the hub and spoke, where you're feeding into, obviously some people from Glassboro will be going to Camden and to Philadelphia. The problem is with a rail line is you have people on Route 55, they're going to Cherry Hill, they're going to Mount Laurel, and people in Philadelphia, they're going to the Philadelphia airport, they're going to Delaware County, they're going to Bala Cynwyd, they're going to King of Prussia, and the rail line really won't get them out of their cars. And I think that the estimate of $200 million compared to the much more money that was paid for the Camden to Trenton line would be probably understated at $200 million. And you'd have to provide parking spaces along the line and so on and so forth. My suggestion would be to add a third lane on 55 for that same space, which would be a toll-only lane where buses could be on there for free to move traffic freely. There are people that are in buses, and that third lane expansion would be for Easy Pass only. They have they have it in Florida. They refer to it as Lexus lanes because you obviously have to pay to be in that lane, but not the other two lanes. And the other suggestion would be to make the 55 to 42 a full interchange, so that people on obviously out going 55 north could head toward Berlin or Atlantic City Expressway, and likewise people coming from Atlantic City direction could easily go to 55 south. And that's basically how I feel that I'm in favor of the toll increases for, and there's plenty of things that are needed, the lighting improvements, the repaving and such, and especially the third lane all the way from 42 to exit 31, I believe it is. But again, the Glassboro to Camden line, I think, deserves a lot more, could create really not much of a solution because of where people are trying to get to that are currently on 55. And I thank you for your... Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Once again, if anybody has a comment at this time, please press star one on your telephone keypad to enter the queue to make your comment. Once again, it will be star one on your telephone keypad at this time to make a comment. And there are no parties in the queue right now to make comments.
Thank you, operator. Again, we will go on break. Those wishing to make a public comment, again, that number is 888-747-5272 with a PIN number of 493192. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we are back live and we have another caller.
It seems that the person in queue has disconnected their line.
Okay. Want to wait a few seconds, operator?
Certainly.
Okay, we will take another break and hopefully the caller will have another chance to call back in. Okay, we're back live. Operator, there's another caller.
Yes, there is. The next comment is coming from Andrew Gold. Andrew, please state your name, spell your last name, announce your affiliation and your town of residence. Your line is now live for comment.
Thank you. This is Andrew Gold, G-O-L-D. I'm a staff attorney with the Pinelands Preservation Alliance and a resident of Cherry Hill. Just a few brief comments. As to the substance of this project, we are opposed to any road widening that would be in the Pinelands, particularly without mitigation to existing and future wildlife impacts. Our sense is that the lane widening is simply going to increase traffic and carbon emissions and be funded with regressive user fees. We are opposed to that. And just as far as the process with these hearings itself, as some others have said already, I mean, the timing to us just seems incredibly ill-conceived with everything that's going on with the virus. It just does not make sense that we're holding these hearings now. And also with the process itself, with the remote link, I mean, maybe I misunderstood this, but it seemed that there was a suggestion in the opening, the hearing, that perhaps in the future, government would move to virtual hearings at all times. And if I understood that correctly, it sounds like a terrible idea to me. I mean, this is an excellent supplement, but it's no replacement for in-person live hearings. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
And your next comment is coming from Denisha Taylor. Denisha, please state your name and spell your last name, provide your affiliation and your town of residence. Your line is now open for comment.
My name is Denisha Taylor, last name Taylor. I am an independent and I reside in Pleasantville, New Jersey. I just wanted to make a few comments in reference to, I was reading about the toll heights for the Atlantic City Expressway. At this point in time, I feel like it's inappropriate. We're currently dealing with a crisis in the United States of America, and I just feel like that this is truly a ridiculous time to be considering hiking the tolls when there is an enormous amount of people that have lost their jobs and are out of work. And most people can barely afford at this point to pay their rent and their mortgage, let alone have to worry about an increase in tolls if they needed to use the expressway for those people who are still working. I just think that it's inappropriate, and it should have been rescheduled at a more appropriate time. And that's pretty much all I have to say in reference to the situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And there are no further comments at this time. At this time, there is no one else remaining in the queue.
Again, we will take a break from the live stream. That phone number again is 1-888-747-5272 with a PIN number of 493192. Thank you. For the record, the hearing tonight has been held open until 9 p.m. I reiterate, public comments will be received until April 20th at 5 p.m. Again, please submit any questions or comments via email to publiccomment@sjta.com or mailed or delivered to the authority at the Administration Building located on the Atlantic City Expressway, milepost 21.3. The mailing address is SJTA, Attention Executive Director, Farley Service Plaza, P.O. Box 351, Hamilton, New Jersey, 08037. Authority representatives will also be available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday to take public comments. That number is 800-658-0606, extension 277. The presentations heard tonight will be posted on our website at sjta.com. It is now 9:01 p.m. This portion of the hearing is closed. Thank you and good evening.